Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Stay tuned if you want to learn how to make this absolutely delicious flourless chocolate cake and miso caramel. So tasty, it even made the front cover. Right, flourless chocolate cake. This is rich, it's indulgent, it's absolutely delicious. One of my favourites from the book. It's gluten-free, tastes blooming amazing. Right, let's have a quick look and find the recipe. So, flourless chocolate cake, Peter Sidwell's Kitchen, the new book. If you've got yours, get it off the shelf and let's bake. Right, so, the key to a good flourless chocolate cake is good chocolate. Now, in the book I've said boil it, melt it, on a pan of simmering water in a bowl, but I use induction and I use rather wonderful 4.5 litre non-stick cast aluminium pans, which means I can melt chocolate straight on the hob, nice and gentle. Okay, so I've got it on number 2 setting, and I'm just slowly melting that chocolate with my salted butter, okay? For me, salted butter is important because you want that little bit of salt in there because it really works with chocolate, okay? This dish does not work with milk chocolate and it doesn't work with white chocolate. It's a really good quality. The best quality chocolate you can get is important. Do you like a bit of chocolate, Carlos? You've got a sweet tooth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really sweet. Well, to be honest, I eat everything.
Carlos is the office dustbin. He will eat anything I put in front of him. Apart from chorizo paella.
That's not paella. I'm going home.
Right, put the lid back on and let's let that melt gently, okay? Key is patience. You cannot rush that. You could put it in the microwave if you want, but you have to do it like 10 or 15 seconds. And then you keep blasting it and stirring it, blasting it and stirring it. You might as well put it in a bowl and melt it, or if you've got one of these wonderful pans, just stick it on number 2, nice gentle heat, let it melt itself. Meanwhile, let's whisk up some sugar and eggs. Now, soft brown sugar, it's got this lovely sort of caramelly flavour. It's gonna work really, really well. And then 3 large free-range eggs, straight in. In we go, right. Now, this takes a little bit of time. I think 3 to 4 minutes, I've said in the book. Just whisk it until it is doubled in size, super light and fluffy while your chocolate melts. Right, there you go, look, super light and fluffy. All the air is in there now, okay? Let's put that to one side. Chocolate time. Always a good time of day, Carlos, isn't it? Chocolate time?
Yeah.
So, can you see, look, it's all completely melted. And because these cast aluminium pans are so non-stick, look at this. Look. I can just use a spatula and I can just run it all around. How non-stick is that? That's what you want, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our chocolate and we're going to mix it into here, okay? So, 2 hands, maybe 2 hands? No, 1 hand. Scrape all the chocolate and get it straight in there. Work quickly because you've just put warm chocolate in a cool bowl, okay? So if you look, I can get all that chocolate out quickly, efficiently. Look, there you go. Now, low speed, and we're just going to incorporate those 2 lots of ingredients together. So I've got my sugar and I've got my eggs, and then I've got my chocolate and my butter, all right? It's almost like making a brownie, this, almost. There we go, now we have got one texture. In with our mascarpone as well. That's going to give us a lovely richness. A little bit of vanilla. You could add sour cream if you don't have mascarpone. in with some vanilla.
Sour cream.
You could add a little bit of sour cream, yeah.
Oh, well.
So that little sort of lactic tang would work really well with this. But mascarpones gives us a nice little bit of richness, really, which is lovely. Work it in nice and quick. What Peter Sidwell's kitchen cookery book is all about taking recipes and kind of making them a little bit better, a little bit nicer, a little bit more interesting. Oh, I'd never thought of that. And we do it because it makes it taste even better. It's all about just elevating sometimes something familiar, elevating things to a whole new level of flavour. And as a professional chef, that's what I do all the time. And I wanted to bring it into the cookbook. Okay, so now let's grab our sieve. I have got cocoa powder. That's going in. So there's a slight bitterness with that. And then I have got coffee powder. Now, if you've only got granulated coffee, use the end of a rolling pin and crush it to a powder because you want it to go in. Coffee and chocolate have a beautiful affinity together. This isn't a chocolate and coffee flourless cake. This is a flourless chocolate cake. The coffee adds to the chocolatey experience, okay? So if you go, I don't like coffee, it's not about the coffee, it's secondary. Primary, it's about the chocolate. Okay, so just sieve that through and you'll always find you get a few little clumps of cocoa. Give that another little shake. And then we have got our ground almonds. You could use ground hazelnuts if you wanted, whatever you want to go with. Scatter those in. And then mix it together on a slow speed. We're just going to bring all those ingredients together. I always say put it on a slow speed and then I get bored and I want to turn it up. The reason why we do it on a slow speed is because you don't want cocoa powder fluming out everywhere. All right? Learn from my mistakes. Okay, so let's just give those a little tap. Good, right. Put that to one side. Now I've got a 20 centimetre springform tin here. I'm going to grab a little bit of butter. And I'm just going to rub it around the edges. Okay, I've got a little bit of parchment paper on the bottom. Only on the bottom, you don't need it up the sides because we're going to do this. And then we add the extra bit of cocoa powder in. And then we're just going to roll it around like that. So, and that's going to give us a really nice sort of coating, which means the chocolate cake will just come out really, really easily. When it first comes out of the oven, it will be fully expanded into the shape of that tin. But as it cools slightly, it'll shrink back, and that's when you can just cleanly release it from the tin. Okay? So, back into my jar. There, we are ready for the oven. Right, I'll just wash my hands. Okay, this is now ready for the oven. So, before I do that, if you've got any questions at all, please post them in the comments below and I will answer them swiftly, as quickly as I can, okay? If you want the list of ingredients, I'm going to put it down the side here. Well, Carlos will. And he'll put a QR code as well so that you can go over to the website if you want. But remember, if you want the book signing by me or Carlos or Emily or all of us, you can get it on our website, petersidwell.com, okay? Over 100 recipes. You're going to love it. I've got loads of copies. I need some space. I'm surrounded by boxes, okay? So please order one. Right, so let's pour our mixture in. So straight in, okay? This is almost like a mousse that's just going to bake beautifully. Okay, it's going to be super light, but it's also going to have that wonderful richness. Really, really beautiful recipe. Easy to do for a dinner party as well, I think. Really, really easy. You can freeze it if you want to, but it's so quick to make. Right, let's get rid of that. This is going into the oven, preheated, 160 degrees, 40 minutes. Hey Siri, set me a timer for 40 minutes. Now, while the flourless chocolate cake is baking, 160 degrees, 40 minutes. That gives us enough time to clean the kitchen and also make a delicious caramel sauce to go with it. Let me explain what we're going to do. So I've got some soft brown sugar, I've got some butter, and I've got some cream, okay? I've actually got mascarpone because I used some in the mixture. So why not just use that for your cream for this recipe? Non-stick pan onto the heat. In with our sugar and butter. Now, salted caramel is so last year. We're going to make miso caramel. Now, miso is a fermented soybean paste, which I will give you your due. It doesn't sound the most appetizing, does it, Carlos? Really, but what it is it's a salty, umami kind of flavor. So instead of adding salt to this, we're going to add miso, which gives you much more it gives you a longer salty flavor in your caramel. So it allows you to make this wonderful, sweet, bubbly caramel, but then you get this salty, fermented flavor, which just, you know when you drink wine, Carlos, and it's a good wine and you can taste it afterwards?
Yeah.
I was always taught it's got legs because you can carry on tasting it. It's like that. This caramel has got legs. It carries on delivering flavor, and it's a beautiful accompaniment, not only to go with our flourless chocolate cake, but make more and serve it with vanilla ice cream. For the lazy man's pudding, good vanilla ice cream, miso caramel. You just need a dark room on your own and go and enjoy it, okay? So sugar and butter in there, and then we're gonna add our miso paste, okay? In it goes. The great thing with this is you can use it, and then you can put it in the fridge. If you've bought Peter Sidwell's Kitchen, the book, you could make our beautiful miso glazed salmon with pickled watermelon salsa, which is it's a hit, isn't it, Carlos? I cooked it at the Maryport Seafood Festival last weekend, and I thought, I'm not sure how this is gonna go. They absolutely loved it. It's got a lovely glaze on top of the salmon of brown sugar, miso, soy sauce and vinegar. So it's sweet, it's salty, it's tangy, and it just glazes the salmon, and then you serve it up with pickled watermelon. Yes, you heard it. Pickled watermelon salsa. Beautiful dish. Gotta try it. Right, so we're just starting to melt together. I've got my cream here as well. You just gotta be patient now and just let it melt together, okay? Once the butter and the sugar have caramelized on a medium heat and it starts to run clear, add your cream, bring it up to the boil until everything is dissolved and you're done. Look at this beauty, flourless chocolate cake baked to perfection. 40 minutes, we're done, 160 degrees. You know it's cooked, it's just got that little wobble, okay? Give it a little shake when you check it from the oven. It needs a little wobble, and you will get a little crack like that. That's okay, it'll all firm up, do not worry. Now this has had 5 minutes cooling down, okay? So I'm gonna be able to touch it and just release it. Now remember, we rubbed the inside with butter and cocoa powder. So all we have to do is very gently open it and it'll come straight off. All right, that was a high risk maneuver. You do not realize, but it was. Okay, and then all we need to do is just pop it onto our cake tin. All right, and that is absolutely beautiful. Smells amazing. The chocolate is just gonna come right through that. And what we're gonna serve it with is our delicious miso caramel. Now, just to let you know, this miso caramel, so good, it made it to the front cover of our new book. There you go. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you bake this. It's absolutely delicious. Flourless chocolate cake with a miso caramel sauce. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next.